What's good, guys? This week, Yuval Noah Harari speaks with Andrew Yang, Jonathan Haidt on why the last 10 years have been uniquely stupid, why coastal cities are sinking, how a working-class Aussie miner got invited to NASA, and how to spot the alignment of 4 planets this month. Yuval Noah Harari, the historian and author of the best-selling book Sapiens, has talked to US presidential candidate Andrew Yang in a fascinating conversation about AI, public policy, and the future of work. Andrew is known for campaigning for universal basic income, a very controversial idea, especially in the United States. He's also very concerned about job automation and what happens to people who lose their careers due to technological advancements. His insights go hand in hand with Yuval, who has written extensively on what happens when we face massive technological changes, such as the Industrial Revolution, or now with the AI revolution. They discuss how job automation and idleness can lead to people heading down rabbit holes of political and religious extremism, and how the war in Ukraine may be our biggest motivation to move away from fossil fuels. Yep, they cover some very important topics, and we definitely recommend you give it a watch and let us know your thoughts in the comment section. And if you're interested in the ethical implications of AI and automation, don't miss our philosophical ethics course starting next month. Sign up at the link in our bio. Everyone's talking about Jonathan Haidt's latest essay, Why the Past 10 Years of American Life Have Been Uniquely Stupid, published last week in The Atlantic. It's been called the best explanation of how social media is making us unfit for democracy, and in it, John uses the metaphor of the Tower of Babel. If you went to a religious school, maybe you know the story already, but if you don't, the Cliff Notes version is that after the Great Flood, a group of people speaking one shared language built a tower tall enough to reach heaven. This made God angry, and he thinks that these people have gotten too big for their boots and are going to get more and more cocky. So, he confuses their language so they can't understand each other, therefore stopping their ability to work together. According to John Haidt, a social psychologist, this is what social media is doing to us. We hoped social media would help us work together, but instead, it is fracturing the way we communicate and is having terrible effects on our society. And if you haven't yet, grab yourself a signed copy of John Haidt's must-read book, The Righteous Mind, from our shop. We only have 1 copy left, so head to the link in our bio. Have you got that sinking feeling? Well, if you live in a coastal city, that's literally what's happening to you. Earth scientists recently published a paper showing that coastal cities around the globe are sinking by up to 5 centimeters a year. They studied the satellite imagery of 99 cities on 6 continents to find that the sinkier cities are mostly in Asia, such as in Tianjin, Karachi, and Manila. While rising sea levels due to climate change play a major role in the sinking, scientists believe that most of it is actually caused by humans. When the researchers looked at Google Earth imagery of the sinking regions, the team saw mostly residential or commercial areas, leading them to believe that groundwater pumping is the main culprit. But there's hope. Back in the day, Shanghai and Jakarta were sinking more than 10 centimeters per year on average. Then their governments better regulated groundwater extraction, and the sinking has slowed right down. This miner from Outback Australia went from being a school dropout to a prized astronomer. His name is Trevor Barry, and he's the recent recipient of the Astronomical Society of Australia Award. He's known in the space world for his contributions to astronomy, all done from his backyard in the isolated town of Broken Hill. Trevor left high school to take up an apprenticeship at one of the local mines, but he always wondered why the night sky looked the way it did. His obsession with astronomy reached its peak when he designed and built his own observatory and telescopes. In 2008, he found a white spot on his favorite planet, Saturn, which ended up being an electrical storm. NASA and the Cassini team have used Trevor's data, and 3 years ago, Trevor got to travel to NASA's headquarters to meet the leader of the Cassini imaging team, Caroline Poco. We love Trevor's story. It teaches us that there are so many alternative pathways to achieving success, and that all you need is passion. If you're an amateur astronomer, come study cosmology at ThinkInc Academy with Professor Alan Duffy. Sign up at the link in our bio. Skygazers, this is your month. April is perhaps the best month for peeping out planets. Yep, April skies are so clear, there's even a song written about them. Beginning around Sunday morning, you'll be able to see something pretty rare. Mars, Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn in one straight line. To see this awesome planetary foursome, those of us in the southern hemisphere should head out about an hour before sunrise to look to the southeast. where the sun is about to rise. There you'll be able to see with your naked eyes all 4 planets in a neat line. While this makes sky gazing far easier, the line is just an optical illusion. The planets aren't actually lined up, and from any other vantage point in space, you'd be able to see that they're far apart. If you're someone who's always gazing up into space thinking about the meaning of it all, come along to see theoretical physicist Brian Greene live in conversation this June. You'll have the chance to pick Brian's brain about life's biggest questions. Tickets are at the link in our bio. That's all for this week. We hope you learned something new. Don't forget to subscribe to our mailing list for specials on our upcoming Brian Greene tour and on our Thinking Academy courses starting next month. Until then, keep well.